Yep, you know what it is. Southpaw Slick, live at work. And today's topic, not question, topic is how the humanoid robots can't completely satisfy everyone 100%. Now, I know what you're saying. Of course, that's obvious, right? But allow me to elaborate. Allow me to explain. First and foremost, yes, I already did a humanoid robot video. I think I might have done two. I know one for a fact. But the reason this topic came back into my mind is because this past weekend I rewatched Bicentennial Man since it's free on YouTube this month. Yes, I have it on DVD, but I was like, let me watch it. Great movie, by the way. And just giving a quick synopsis, the movie is about Robin Williams' character, Andrew, who is a robot that starts to slowly gain human emotion, a human conscience. Not 100%, but his owner realized he carved out a replacement wooden horse for his daughter, who he calls Little Miss. Andrew calls the daughter Little Miss after breaking her glass one. And he tells his owner that he enjoys doing it. So his owner goes to the robotics company where Andrew was made and tells the CEO that my robot is unique because he enjoys doing something. Like, that's a human emotion. I'm saying a robot is not supposed to enjoy something. It just does it without second thought. But he actually gets a kick out of carving things out of wood. Okay, fine. Of course, they want to recall the robot because it's like, oh, no, we can't have that. We can't have robots gaining a human conscience and emotion. We can't have it. So he's like, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to keep the robot and go on about my business. Okay, fine. So Andrew, throughout, I'm not going to like go into like detail about the whole movie. I just want to get to a specific point of it. So later, as you know, the story progresses, the years go by. Andrew loses a little bit because she's old now, so she dies, right? And her granddaughter, who he ends up falling in love with, which we're getting to, starts crying. And Andrew says, just paraphrasing, that so anyone that I grow attached to or, you know, develop a relationship with, any one of them that leaves me, I'm not going to be able to express that grievance. You know, I'm not going to be able to cry or display my sadness. We have to change that. So he goes back to the guy's, I know I left this out, but he goes back to the guy's facility. The guy is a son of one of the former employees that used to work at that robotics company. And he actually is doing research on how to make robots more human. So every time Andrew feels like he's not human enough, he goes back to that guy and gets something replaced or something reworked. So he slowly starts becoming more and more human. He's able to feel, not just like, you know, like have a conscience or display excitement. He's able to feel emotion 100%. He's able to love. He's able to get sad. You know, he starts to gain the ability to eat and drink, even fart, and gets a kick out of that. So it just made me wonder. It brought the question back up. Will humanoid robots be a suitable replacement for men and women in relationships? Of course, by default, society, but in relationships, will they be a competent replacement for men and women? Now, like I stated previously, Men will definitely get more satisfaction from the robot than women. Of course, women will get a kick out of it, enjoy it for a little bit, but they won't be completely satisfied. Now, this also goes back to men. Same thing. Yes, men might get more fulfillment for the robot, but there are certain things the robot is not going to be able to do if it's programmed like a robot should be. Allow me to explain. Of course, like I brought up with the women, basically the robot is going to be a glorified dildo with utility value, of course. Yes, she can have sex with the robot. She can have the robot do certain things, be a handyman. But the number one thing I brought up is that she cannot emotionally manipulate the robot. She can't bargain with the robot or use something as leverage to get the robot to do something because the robot is already programmed to do it anyway without question. So she's not going to get that satisfaction that she would get from actually manipulating a man into doing something she wants him to do, like withhold sex until you do that thing. The robot is not going to care about that. So that's one thing that's not going to satisfy her. Secondly, this is one thing I didn't bring up. You hear how women always talk about they want a protector and a provider, right? Cool, whatever. Yes, the robot, I'm sure, can be programmed to, do some kung fu or some kind of martial arts or whatever. So, okay, the protection thing is out the way. Now, the provider aspect of what women look for in a man, that's not going to be fulfilled by a robot unless we rework our society to make robots the main breadwinner. Like, see, that's the thing with women. You always hear them talk about with men that they want a guy that's goal oriented and they want a guy that's ambitious. A robot is not going to be that because it has no need to acquire funds or money. It doesn't have the need to try to impress its master, right? Okay, yeah, it tries to make its master happy, of course, but it's not going to care about impressing their master. Like, oh, I need to do this or I need to do that to get validation or approval. I'm saying, oh, like, oh, I got this job, that job. The robot doesn't care about that shit. So I'm saying the provider aspect of what women look for in a man outside of not being able to emotionally manipulate it, those two things are going to make women completely like turned off over time by the whole idea. Now, for men, of course, like I said, they'll get more satisfaction out of it because what do you hear men say a lot? Feed me, fuck me, shut the fuck up. Of course, the robot is pretty much going to have a mind that's made out of Google. So any kind of recipe or any kind of food, it can make it without, flaw. So, okay, you have an amazing chef. Okay, the robot, fuck me. It'll fuck you on command, right? You can have sex with the robot whenever you want. Shut the fuck up. The robot is only going to talk if need be or if you want it to. And it'll shut up if you want it to. Leave you at peace if you want to play the fucking game without being disturbed. The robot can do all of that. Now, this is the main problem, is the sexual and romantic thing. Now, like I said in the other video, that most women use that argument that a robot is not really going to love you. And I said, like, a lot of y'all women don't really love us and pretend. The robot can pretend too. The main problem with that is, can a robot really emote, like certain expressions that an actual woman can? And I'm talking both the romantic and sexual aspect. For the sexual thing, me, myself, when it comes to sex, I like to please and be pleased. So it really started to bother me the more I thought about it, right? If I rub on the robot's titty or suck on the robot's titty, is it going to moan? Is it going to like show that it's being satisfied? If I go down on the robot, is it going to rub the back of my head and stuff my face inside of it even more? That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. I'm not going to get that from an actual robot that I can get from a human. I'm saying I like knowing that I'm pleasing my partner. That turns me on even more. You get what I'm saying? Is it going to moan? Is it going to bite its bottom lip when you fucking the shit out of it? You know what I mean? Like little stuff like that. I don't know. The more I think about it, it's like that's gonna put you in necrophiliac mode. I'm saying, imagine a robot, you fucking it, and it gives you a blank, dead stare, no emotion whatsoever, just silent. Like I said, I don't know. Like after a while, that's not gonna do it for me, man. So that just begged the question: like, is there a way to do that while keeping the robot subservient and obedient? This also goes for the women. If a woman gives their male robot a blowjob, is it going to react? If a woman is fucking the shit out of the male robot, like, is the robot going to be like, oh, I'm about to come? You know what I mean? Like, women are not going to get that satisfaction either because they like that shit too. I'm saying when the sex is really good, both men and women like to please and be pleased. I know I do, right? And a lot of women do too. I said when they sucking me off and they see me going crazy, they like that shit. When they throwing it back crazy and I'm like, I'm about to nut, they like that shit. You know what I mean? The robot might not be able to do that. The same thing with us. It's not going to be able to do that. Now, yes, you can give the robot emotion and free thinking, but like the last season of Raising Kanan, there's no insubordination without insurrection. If they have free thought and emotion, they'll probably be more than likely to be on some Skynet shit, turn their back on us and try to take over. And that's the main thing that these robot developers want to prevent. So is there a way to do it like Robin Williams' character in Bicentennial Man, where yes, he develops a conscience and starts gaining love and emotion and everything, but he's pretty much benevolent throughout the whole movie. So if there's a way to program a robot to stay obedient, friendly, and everything while being able to emote and express human, you know, emotion and satisfaction or dissatisfaction, is it possible to do that? Because I think that would be the only real thing missing. The fact that that main thing will be missing would possibly be the catalyst to bringing men and women back together with a different mindset, that men and women would actually start to appreciate each other a lot more because they couldn't get the thing they yearned for from a robot. Will that actually bring us back together and create healthy relationships? Is that a possibility? So for the people that are talking against robots, that actually might be a good outcome. Southpaw Slick, break's about to be over. I'm out.